Hello, hello. What's up, guys? We are back for UFC 313 post show. I'm your boy, Kyle Diorio, here with my beautiful, my lovely, my baby, my host.
Robert Dylan Vasquez. What's up, guys? Kyle, what a weekend of fights.
There was some really good ones, some really bad ones, some cool results, some sad results. We got a good bit to talk about with UFC 313. And I'm just going to start it off with the first fight when I can say I told every single one of you that Mauricio Hoofy is the real fucking deal.
Where's your tape, dude? Where's your tape?
Dude, I should have got some tape. God damn it. That dude is the real deal. One of the prettiest knockouts in UFC history.
Dude.
It was picture perfect. This dude's technical striking is top notch.
McGregor-esque at 145.
It is. It's so pretty. It's so elegant. It's so different than what you see from anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, dude. It was, I mean, he knocked him out cold.
So, describe it a little bit, and I'll pull up the picture. So, Ruffy, which I thought it was Hoofy because, you know, the R's and Brazilian and stuff like that.
I still think it is Hoofy, and even if it's not, I like saying it that way.
Ruffy, Hoofy.
The Ruffy Hoofy?
The Ruffy, Hoofy. That was the kick. The Ruffy, Hoofy, dude.
The Ruffy Hoofy, dude.
Bobby King Green, finally got announced like that, I believe. I think he had it that way with the Patty fight, but like this is the first time.
That was the first. I think the Patty fight was the first one where he was like, "I'm just king."
Which, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Whatever.
He fights with his hands down, like he's not. And by the time you could tell during the kick, I'm about to pull it up. Not the video, just a picture. He tries to put his shoulder in front of his jaw. Which, okay, your shoulder's in front of your jaw, awesome. The heel spinning heel kick, came right over, boom, right on the temple, dude. I'm pulling it up right now.
Spot. Like, it was like, it really was. The only other person I can picture throwing it that way with that kind of like long stance is Connor. It really is.
Or like a Wonder Boy, but that's...
Dude, that shit was insane. And it was in the first round.
Talk us through it, because there was like 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
I think so. And
Dude, like,
King is back up against the cage. Nowhere to go. And he's like, all right, I'm just going to throw some spinning shit.
Yeah. And he just fucking, like a fucking ballerina, spins perfectly around and just fucking smashes him in the head. It was nuts. It was so crazy.
Face down. Ass
out. He was out.
It's rough, man. That was rough to see.
King Green has had a rough run ever since changing strictly to King.
It's not good. It's not good.
Getting choked out by Patty.
The King has been dethroned.
Yeah, he's not a king anymore, dude. Dude, Hoofy, let's get Hoofy a top 15 opponent. I think it's time.
Did you hear who he called out?
No, I didn't.
Beneil Dariush.
Ooh, that's a smart call out. That's a call out that you can see happening.
That's like, I mean, what is Beneil? Well, you looked it up. He's top 10. So he's not going for top 15. He's going strictly for like, hey.
Probably, let's see it, dude. Lightweight. Beneil is 9.
So still top 10.
Yeah. Beneil is 9. I mean, looking at the top 15, a lot of people are taken up. Jalen Turner was in a fight. Patty's locked in a fight. Raphael in a fight that night. Benoit Saint Denis at 15. That could have been a cool fight, but I mean, take a shot. Go for Beneil Dariush, man.
A guy who is looking to be active because his last fight got canceled.
Yeah, I remember that. He just kind of got screwed off the whole card.
He still got compensated a little bit, I
Yeah,
imagine. I imagine.
you would think.
But anyways, that to open up the show like that, that's exactly what you need with a
Yeah, that was
paper.
spectacular.
Yeah, on a pay-per-view show.
It was spectacular. I want to see the fighting nerds on every card. They've got 6 fighters, I think it said in the UFC. Let's put one. Let's just space them out so we get a fighting nerd fight on every card.
I mean, that would work.
I'm down, dude. Give it to me. We got one next week going up against young Hitler himself, Bryce Mitchell,
Jean Silva.
Jean Silva. Everybody's gonna be looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that.
Dude brought a globe to the press conference.
That shit is so funny.
I'm like, bro, started a fuck Bryce Mitchell chant. Like,
Bryce looked
so mad. Just so mad.
good.
Sure.
I'm excited, dude.
What if Bryce wins? What if he just becomes the biggest heel in UFC
I guess
history?
He would be if he won, but
Dude, Joe Rogan post-fight interview wore the Fighting Nerds glasses.
yeah, I saw that. It was so dope.
This dude was the best. I am maybe not as big of a fan as you. You are behind the Fighting Nerds all the way. I'm giving you that title. Like,
I love the fighting nerds, dude.
sure.
They're awesome.
They are awesome. But yeah, man, should we talk about it more, or should we go on to the bathroom break?
I think it's time to go to a bathroom break. Everybody just, go watch the highlight if you haven't seen it. Yeah, let's just move on to the next fight.
Yeah, let's go.
We have women's strawweight, number 5, Amanda Lemos versus number 7, Yasmin Lucindo.
Now, last week, when you said her name, I was 100% certain you said it right.
I was too.
It's Brazilian, so it's a little tricky.
Yeah, it's just,
Iasmin, Yasmin. So it's kind of, there's like a Y sound. It's very tricky.
It's weird. It's different.
You guys try it. You go on.
You read these names without having any idea.
Sure.
Okay, so this fight, I feel like this happens a lot in the women's division fights, and I don't know if because I noticed this more because there's less women's fights, but it ends up happening more often. Where one girl has this strategy that they behold to the whole fight, no matter it's not working, it's getting them nowhere. Yasmin was like A-okay, just trying to be on the bottom, throwing up nothing. She just held guard like for 3 rounds, and Amanda Lemos did the little bit she needed to do to win the fight.
I mean, laid and prayed,
but like I don't even know if you can call it lay and pray when Yasmin was so okay with just being in guard.
Right.
Like, it's like you're just gonna lay there. I guess I'm just gonna hit you a few times every once in a while, and
I remember
win.
going into the third, they're like, the poor translator, she's trying to keep up. The guy's talking so fast. He's like, you're down 2 rounds. You got to go. F it. You need to do everything you can. Just F it. Don't do what you've been doing. Just lay it all on the line. You got 5 minutes. F it. And I'm like, hey, man, probably should have told her that after round 1. If your round 1 out of the gate strategy doesn't work, where is your plan B and C and D?
And when do you use them?
You
have a 3-round fight. Round 1, you're down. You have to win 2 in a row.
Absolutely.
Or you get a knockout, obviously. But if you're just looking at points, which, I mean, it just was. It's happened frequently. I feel like I've seen a number of women's fights lately where they get stuck in their strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know men do it too. Like, it's not even. I know men do it all the time, but it seems like a lot of these like fights that they put on the pay-per-views, one of the women just kind of locks in on a strategy and doesn't fix anything.
Even if they're told, like, hey, this isn't working, we need to do something. That's what they train for. Like, that was their training camp. So then they go for the clinch, the judo throws. Everything is telling them go on this route, and then when you try to change that, they're like, bro, we didn't practice that.
Yeah.
we didn't do that. What are you talking about?
What do you do?
So Amanda Lamo, she came home with the win.
She got a dub.
Good, because we were both wrong.
Yeah, we both lost that one. It's whatever. Who cares?
Who cares?
Whatever.
We
got anything else to say?
Amanda Lemos, being respectful. Amanda Lemos, don't know where she goes from here, because I feel like she's fought some top fighters and kind of, I don't mean to steal the Jalen Turner analogy, but she's probably going to Neil Magny for a while at strawweight, right?
Yeah, she does, like, where does she go? Let's pull it up. Where are them rankings at? Women's strawweight. Yeah, you got nothing for Zhang Wei Li. So let's not even.
I mean,
get ourselves here. I don't know what she does next.
Well, I mean, hopefully she makes it interesting. That's all I care about. Just make your next move interesting. That's it.
Do something. Yeah, it's just. I don't get it. We're out. I'm out. I'm done.
I'm done. On to the next fight, dude. Hey, can I introduce this one? Because you the pre-show.
Roll the tape.
I mean, if I could, I would. You had a little bit of a little beef with Jalen.
No beef. Just an observation.
Sure, you are an analyst.
I am.
You're an analyst. You're a journalist. You're a reporter now.
I am.
You had a little bit to say about old Jalen the Tarantula Turner.
And I was right in everything I said. 100% right. And maybe I even have an idea of why now. His heart is not in it. And I think that's why I observed what I observed.
Can I give you a point?
Dude, I'll take it.
Because a similar thing happened a couple years ago. I don't know if you remember. It was Connor versus Cowboy.
Yeah.
And Stephen A comes out and he goes, Cowboy, he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to fight Connor that night.
One of the most infamous live post-fight.
And everybody's looking at him like, do you know who Cowboy Cerrone is, you dumb fuck? So you come out and you're like, yeah, not Neil Magny. Jalen Turner is pulling a Neil Magny. He's a gatekeeper. He just doesn't seem into it. And I am like, he lost to Dan Hooker. He broke Dan Hooker's arm. He's obviously game. He wants to fight. What are you talking about? I didn't look at you like you were crazy, but at the same time, I was like, where are you getting this?
Where's this coming from?
Where is this intuition that you're spilling on our CCMMA podcast? And sure enough, I want to apologize and I want to give you a point.
I don't think I could have really expected what happened.
So, Jalen Turner against Bahamondes. He gets caught in the most day 3 jiu-jitsu class triangle I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was super deep. I go, oh, he's in there.
His arm, though.
I go, oh, well, yes. But I go, oh, his head's in there, his arm's in there. And I'm sitting there. I'm in the kitchen, just watching on my phone. And I paid for it.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching on my phone, and I go, oh, well, he's in there, but he could squirrel out. He could shrimp out. He could do something. And he goes nowhere. And he kind of like leans on his side, and I see his free hand, pop, 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 pop. And it was that moment. I promise you, it was that moment I go, oh my God, Kyle was right.
Dude.
I go, oh my
And
God.
then he retires.
He goes up to John Morgan. Shout out to John Morgan. He goes up to John Morgan and he's taking like the tape off his gloves and he's like, yeah, I think I'm about to retire. I've been thinking about it since UFC 300. Sure. He's not, and I don't mean this to be as disrespectful as it's going to come across. He doesn't have top tier money. What is he going to do? He's going to go work at Dairy Queen? What are you going to do?
He lost that dog at some point in his career, and I think he lost a lot of confidence at some point, and I think it just ate him away.
And it's unfortunate. It really is. Like, I didn't shit on him last week because I dislike Jalen Turner. I like Jalen Turner. I'm just saying his last couple of fights, it just didn't seem like it was all there, and everyone's hyping him up all the time, and he's got probably enough talent to take him places, but he couldn't get it together. Who knows what happened? Who knows what happened at 300, around 300, for him to a loss, obviously, to just eat it in his brain. Like, maybe it's time for me to hang it up at 29. I mean, I'm sure he probably sticks around and maybe trains people or whatever, but
Sure.
yeah, I mean, he lost to Moicano in April. That was the fight where he could have won, and he chose not to sick him, wasn't it?
I think so. I just remember the only real thing that was like, okay, well, you're at least top 20 was when he had the late stoppage against Bobby Green. King Green.
His last win came in 2022. Well, for some reason they do this on UFC.com where they don't show all the information. Like, you just mentioned the Turner Green fight. It doesn't tell me who won for whatever reason. But anyway,
Sure.
prior to that, his last win was 2022. He's only lost to like top 10 fighters: Gamrot, Hooker, Moicano, and now Bahamondes. I think maybe he's like, I'm not gonna break top 5. I don't have it in me.
And this is 155, right?
This is 155.
If you're losing to Bahamondes, you're not beating Islam.
No.
So it's like, which 29, anecdotally speaking, you're like 3-4 years away from your prime. Just give it a second look, man. Come on.
Give it a second win, Jalen. We're rooting for you here on the Couch Casual Podcast.
We are rooting.
Find that fire.
From afar, though.
Something that sparks that passion again and get back in there and have a resurgence to prove my bald ass wrong.
A la Charles Oliveira at 145. You mentioned that pre-show. Not pre-show last week, but pre-show before we even did this.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe he could do something, and I kind of shut it down. I was like, no, dude. He switched weight classes. What are you talking about?
Switch weight classes, but even everyone said he used to want to give up in the fights. He was quick to quit. And then he turned it around. Like, he turned it around.
Sure, but if you are, in fact, a tarantula and you have 8 limbs, arachnid, right? And you get your head and one of those limbs caught in a triangle. I mean, come on, man.
It's a rough go of it. But yeah, shout outs to Bahamondes. I'm sure he gets another top 15 fighter.
You know, they're the top. They were the two at the same time. They were the 2 tallest lightweights in the whole division.
Really? I didn't realize. I knew Jalen was super tall, and for some reason I didn't even really think about Bahamondes' height.
They were the 2 tallest lightweights in the whole division, and they fought.
Let's see. Where can we get Bahamondes next? Benoit Saint Denis? No, that. Maybe Moicano, maybe Gamrot.
I don't know. Maybe,
I don't know, but it was a quick, impressive win.
Maybe he's one of. It was a quick and impressive win. So King Green ruined my parlay that I told you about on via Prize Picks. And so
King, dude.
And so this one, I was like not even looking forward to it. I'm like, maybe, Jalen Turner, maybe he gets, and I'm only one off, didn't survive 2 rounds. So I'm like, gosh darn it. And so I think personally, Bahamondes, I don't know if he's a big enough name. The performance was awesome. I don't know if he's a big enough name to not fight backwards. If somebody,
Yeah, that's probably fair.
If somebody who's ranked 21 needs a fight on a 6-week notice, 8-week notice, they're probably going to be like, okay, well, you can break into the top 15 with this guy.
That's fair. Give him a step down, see what happens, and then, if he wins that one,
he's not going
to the top 10.
He's not going to like that, but
No, if you got to fight, you got to fight.
I'm done if you are.
Did he call anybody out? I missed a lot of the post-fight interviews.
I didn't hear this one.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm good. If you are, you ready for the co-main event?
Let's go.
Definitely the fight of the main card, best overall fight. Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. Sadly, it was 3 rounds, so that must have been part of the negotiations of a short notice fight. Even being short notice, I think Fiziev looked better in this fight than he did in the first one.
I think so, and I think that it might have been a stretch to make it 5 because it's like, hey man, I'm not really training like that. I don't know if I can go 5. I think he could have went 5, but
based on what we saw, I think he probably could have.
You wouldn't have seen the same output in 3 rounds.
No.
So go ahead.
He looked great. There were moments where you could see he kind of path to victory, but Justin kind of, he slowly took it over, hit some of those heavy hands that Justin has, and you can hear. I don't know how that uppercut,
the clinch.
Yeah, you could see in his eyes he was out for a second.
Yeah.
Shot, but he woke back up real quick. Like that was a heavy shot, and then just like. Everything Justin throws when he's up close is so heavy.
They're like this close, and he's like throwing like an overhand right.
He's got these like weird hooks, overhand hooks that he throws, and they're heavy every time. You can hear them just like just mashing me, dude. But he gets the win. For some reason, I'm looking at UFC.com, and I don't know if the odds had updated, or maybe I didn't notice this, but Fiziev was considered the favorite. That's wild.
Well, because he's coming off a knockout to Max Holloway, but these fans and these judges and these gamblers, call it like it is, they're so fair-weathered. They're like, oh, he ain't got a chin. He didn't have a chin in the Max Holloway fight because his nose was broken. If you're
it was the last punch thrown of the whole fight. He had taken like 7,000 punches before that.
True.
My chin would be gone too.
But then you take time off. When was that? That was 300?
That was 300.
So it's like, that was what, last April, May?
Yeah.
You have to account like...
Or right at a year.
It's like you have to account like, I did take time off. My brain healed. I'm not, I haven't been hard sparring. The story that I want to get to is Justin Gaethje came out in solid black gloves.
Which I didn't notice this at all. I didn't notice this, and I saw somebody talking about it, and then you brought it up, and I was like, what did I miss?
He was doing that thing where it cuts to Bruce, cuts to Rafael, cuts to Gaethje, and he's like pacing back and forth. He's doing this thing. I see nothing here. Usually you see a UFC logo, like the one behind Kyle. You see the 3 letters. I saw nothing. And I go, that's so weird. Apparently, and I'm about to pull the picture up right now, there was some kind of maybe embedded warm-up, something like that, where Onyx, Onyx, they have their gloves. Trevor Whitman, Justin Gaethje, they have their special gloves, and the UFC blurred the logo out because they're not making any money off of that. That's not their gloves. You're not about to promote your own product on their platform, rather. And so I guess it was kind of like petty, salty.
Yeah.
And so Justin comes out in these black gloves. Look at that shit. They're all black, dude.
Covered.
They're all black.
I didn't notice this, and it's crazy that I never noticed this at all during the fight. That eye for detail.
It was just, it wasn't, you had to look for it. It was like Waldo.
Yeah.
You just had to look for it. So, that being said, he put on a show. They still let him walk out with them. They could have made him change, but his hands were already wrapped. The gloves were already taped. I want to know how he got the logo off.
Yeah, right. Like, what did you do?
Sharpie? Was it?
You scratched at it. like, it doesn't look like when the picture I saw, it doesn't even look like it's there anymore. So I feel like they just like scraped that shit off. There's
no way. They did look a little puffier without the UFC on there, but there's no way that they put those gloves on. He said that they rubbed off in warm-ups. What the hell are you doing in warm-ups? That the whole logo on both gloves. I know he's ambidextrous. He can hit with his left. He can hit with his right. You see what I'm talking about.
Gone. It's like completely gone.
Gone, bro.
It's so funny. I don't know. I'm sure we'll get more information. I'm sure somebody will. Justin Gaethje's been fined $5,000.
Well, yeah, sure. Which those guys that are making hundreds of thousands, I'm sure that they'll take that little $5,000 thing. If it is indeed $5,000, I don't think it would be. I think they needed to be a little more serious than that.
Yeah, if they really care.
Anyways.
Well, here's a picture. Minutes before his walkout, it's there. It's the UFC is on his gloves, and it looks very scratched out. So it's looking. That's so funny, dude. Such a funny thing.
Imagine you're like personnel. You're like, hey man, what the fuck are you wearing? At that point, it's like, can you question? Like, years ago, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. They're asking like, did you tamper with the gloves? Did you put liquid concrete or cement in them? And he's like, no, everything's fine. The glove is supposed to be down here. And it was like kind of up here, and he was kind of like throwing around whatever. You can't tamper with the gloves. How do you expect us to react when Rafael Fiziev walks out in UFC gloves, and you walk out in some kind of like blackened gloves? Like you tampered with them. They warm up for a lot of minutes, a long time, before they even come out. What the hell is he doing that it rubs them off?
It's kind of crazy. I'm sure either this will be completely forgotten about or we'll hear about it.
Who knows?
They'll tell us what happened. But yeah, this was a great fight. Justin gets the win. I don't know where he goes from here. Maybe we still get the Dan Hooker fight.
Title shot.
Did he call for it?
He didn't call for it, I don't think.
He kind of just said, whatever the UFC wants to give me.
Dana White goes, he's number 3 or 4 in the world. His title shot is looking pretty good. Because he's the only one that Islam hasn't fucked up yet.
It's probably, let's see it. Let's see it. Give it to me.
I'm ready for it.
I'm ready for it. Are you ready for the main event?
You mean the heartbreak?
One of the heartbreakingest fights of all time. We watched
go ahead.
The soul of Alex Pereira leave his eyes throughout that fight.
Sure. A lot of pressure. A lot of
lot of pressure.
A lot of
Forward movement
by Ankalaev. I've never wanted to be wrong more.
Yeah.
You
I've never
know,
wanted you to be wrong. Well, no, I've probably wanted you to be wrong this much before.
sure. I remember texting you, and I was like, I didn't want to be right. I didn't want this.
So let's break this down.
Sure.
Alex wins round 1.
Yeah.
Maybe not like over the top, but he wins round 1. And Goliath wins round 2. Round 3.
You sent me a question mark.
3 was the closest round of the whole fight. That's the one that I don't know. You could really give it either fighter. Round 4, Ankalaev, 100%. This is the hold against the fence the whole round.
But that was the left hook, wasn't it? That was the left hook.
Was it? I don't remember.
I think 4 was the left hook that wobbled Alex a little bit.
I thought 4 he just held him against the cage the whole time.
That was basically the whole fight.
I mean, true, but 4 was the definitive cage holding round. It was almost the whole round. 5, Alex finally kind of wakes up a little bit and gets a couple big shots. Probably wins 5. I love Alex. I hate to say it. I don't think this is a questionable decision. I think Ankalaev won it in the slightest of margins.
Squeaked it out.
I hate seeing someone win due to
boring style.
But he hurt. He hurt Pereira more than Pereira hurt him outside of the leg kicks.
Well, yeah, from the knees up.
The pressure was Ankalaev advanced more.
It was admirable. It was. He was going forward, not really scared of what Alex had to throw. Why he didn't throw more, why he didn't throw the kitchen sink at him, I'll never know.
I don't know, man.
He cannot be that intimidating.
Alex didn't look as confident as he normally looks in there.
He said it was his best weight cut. He goes, "This is my best weight cut. I don't know how I made 185." You had the Ramadan factor with Ankalaev, which he went against. He's going to hell. He went against.
Oh shit!
Yeah, dude, you have to fast, and he wasn't. He was lying to the people.
His soul for the champ.
He did.
Maybe he deserved it. You gonna sell your soul for a championship?
He'll ask for forgiveness. It's fine. Anyways, I was sitting around, and even though you and I, we paid for it. We did. It cut out right before.
It was glitchy.
A little glitch.
Yeah, I didn't see the announcement of who won or any of that. I had to Google it. After the fact,
I messaged you and I go, "No, Alex won for sure." And you hit me with some bad news.
It was sad, dude.
Some good news for me because I won bragging rights, but it's never felt so sour of a win. I did not. I told you. I go, I hope he shuts Ankalaev up, but he gets wrestle fucked. Now, not down on the ground, not trapped in guard. Up against the cage is wrestle fucking, and Ankalaev goes, "I don't know why everybody says my fights are boring. Alex Pereira was one of the most exciting fighters, if not the most exciting fighter in the UFC, and then he gets in there with me, and all of a sudden it's boring." Yes, man.
Yes, that's how it works.
You are the common factor in all of this. You are boring as fuck.
You are the common denominator here.
And it makes me mad because he doesn't understand it. He's like, "Oh yeah, I struck with Alex Pereira." No, you didn't. You stood there and you did pressure him, yes. And then as soon as you got into clinch mode, you hugged him. You hugged him for dear life.
You held on. You got your control time. You didn't hurt Alex.
You wobbled Alex more than Alex wobbled him.
Sure, and that's the wrestling style of like, I'm gonna shoot, I'm gonna shoot, I'm gonna shoot.
Got you worried.
Oops, boom. Ugh, I'm disgusted.
We are getting the run back. I think Dana White pretty much confirmed it in the post-fight press conference. He said, "Yeah, we're probably going to run this one back." Alex deserves it. He dominated light heavyweight for a hot minute there. We need to see some adjustments. I don't know what. I'm not smart enough to say, but I need to see Alex come out and knock this dude out.
I have a hypothetical for you.
Please.
He wins this. Does he leave 205? Like, not this next rematch, this one, this last one. If he won this, does
Probably.
Does he leave to and then
not leave, but maybe goes for the third, double champ status.
And then who does he fight? Does he fight John or does he fight Tom? Hypothetically.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see. Because I'm sure we'll be talking about that on a future show.
That dream's dead, bro.
You think it's over?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm a pessimist. No, he was supposed to be that dude. And Dana White, even him, was like, this is his toughest test. If he comes out of this, he might be the greatest 205 of all time. And he just slipped on the proverbial banana peel that is a boring Dagestani.
Yeah.
You know what? Early on this show, I would talk mad smack about Brazilians. I think I'm changing my ways. I think I'm going more Russian, more Dagestani.
It's very true. There's two people that are excluded from the boring Dagestani. That's Khabib, and that's Islam.
Anybody else?
You're doing the same style, but you just don't have that extra oomph to it. Islam and Khabib, they ragged all their opponents. It's
strike with them.
It's a different level. Yeah.
I'm pulling up the picture. I'm pulling up the picture right now of Ankalaev getting the belt wrapped around him in a celebratory fashion. If we have to witness this, so do you guys.
Yeah, if you didn't watch, you have to see this crap.
Ugh.
Ankalaev is your new light heavyweight champion of the world. Alex gets the run back.
Alex has come back from losses before. He's lost to Izzy, moved up to 205, and went on a tear. We'll see what happens.
So, Jiri Prohaska was like, yeah, why wait around? Why not just go for the belt? Why not hunt for the belt? I think is what he said. And Ankalaev hits him with the most petty response. He's like, yeah, you're going to have to wait. You're a terrible fighter. He's like, yeah, dude, you can look up the quote yourself, but he's like, nah, that's not happening. You're dog shit, essentially.
Bruh.
I swear.
Ankalaev is so disrespectful.
I swear, dude. He's like, yeah, no, you're a terrible fighter. You're going to have to wait your turn.
Oh.
Are you pulling up what he actually said?
I'm trying to find it. I just want to see it, but there's a lot of shit out here.
I'll go on a tangent until you find it. For him...
My official name now is Muhammad Big Onk.
Who says that?
I don't know if this is his... This can't be his real Twitter.
No. Ali Abdelaziz runs his Twitter, his manager.
Is his Twitter handle Ankalaev M?
Oh, I don't know, brother.
This is fake. Khalil Bumtree upset I beat his daddy. Let's go, Jamal. There's no way this is him, right?
Who knows? Ali has been known to talk some shit. That being said, everybody who's happy that Alex Pereira lost is either a very unhappy Jamal Hill fan or a very unhappy Yuri Prohaska fan, or both. So, as Kyle does his research,
I think it's just real Twitter. This shit's kind of wild.
dude, fighters will always get. I don't even know. You said it's Ankalaev M.
Yeah, Ankalaev M. Muhammad Big Ankalaev. God almighty, dude.
All right, dude. We went through the card. Whether it is or is not his Twitter is not up to us. What are your thoughts overall? If you were to rate this card on a scale of 1 to 10 from the beginning, not the prelims, the beginning of the card to the main event, what would you rate it?
I think we saw some spectacular finishes.
Mm-hmm.
Had a couple sleeper fight in the middle, the title fight.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I give it a B plus. B plus.
Even though I asked 1 through 10, you gave it a B plus. All right, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
No,
We're on a letter grading system here.
All right, fine. B plus. I'd give it a C minus.
A C minus
Yep.
is the sadness of the main event adding to that overall grade there.
That was the final exam. It was, and
That's fair. I
you
understand.
know, it was not the results I was looking for, which is not my problem.
The journey, not the destination.
It is about the journey, not the destination. Shout out to my boy Jordan Russo. Anything else about this card? Do you want to talk about anything else that's up and coming? Did you hear about this Turkey and Dana collaboration to bring revitalization back to boxing?
No.
Turkey Ali, it's one of those, and Dana White. They are forming a boxing league.
I think I heard about Dana wanting to put up a boxing league. I think I do remember that.
So this has been years in the making. Dana obviously couldn't do it on his own. He needs a trillionaire like this Abu Dhabi character, Turkey Ali or something like that. They are not going to have a WBO, WBA, WBC, IPO, all the titles that boxing has, the weird, brand,
the different
whatever
or whatever.
It's just going to be under one umbrella. TKO, who owns the UFC and WWE, and Nick Khan.
Yeah.
Nick Khan. He's a big boxing guy. He's bringing this to light as well. So they're going to start their own boxing league, and then it's going to be one title. It's not going to be different branches. It's going to be under one umbrella, kind of like a monopoly of the UFC. So I'm excited for that.
I did not know he was a big boxing guy because I know he was the only reason I know his name is because he is a big wig with the WWE prior to the TKO merger. So
True.
Cool. Let's see it. I like boxing. I've always liked boxing. That's what I liked way back before I was in the UFC. I liked watching all the old boxing fights from the 80s and 90s.
Sure.
So that would be cool to see something like really spark boxing up again. Like you only get like big fights every once in a while anymore.
If they're even willing. And then you might hear oh, there are rumors of this guy fighting this guy, and then they fall out and they're like, oh, we didn't have $300 million to pay this guy.
Yeah, boxing's insane. I don't know how it got so bloated, but Don King.
Well, sure, and a couple other names. But no, man, I have hopes for another great UFC card coming up.
Yeah, dude. UFC 314 might be the most stacked card we've seen
since 300.
Since 300, probably.
We are officially over the hangover of UFC 300.
This is the best card from the outside. This is the best looking card in a long time. We're getting Alex Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez for the vacant featherweight title.
CCMMA's own Diego Lopez.
CCMMA's own versus one of my favorite fighters of all time. That's going to be a tough one for me to call. My heart's going to be split in half. Michael Chandler versus Patty Pimblett. That's going to be a big one on this show.
I can kind of gauge where you're going versus where I'm going to go.
I think we know where everybody's going here. Bryce Mitchell, Jean Silva from Fighting Nerds, Yair Rodriguez versus
Patricio.
Bellator great Patricio Pitbull.
That's
Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates, another
Fighting Nerd.
Dan Ige versus some guy that looks like a goober.
Some guy who works at Take 5 Oil Change.
Dude, we got Dominic Reyes on the card. We got Yan Xiaonan versus Virna Jandiroba.
Damn, I think you actually nailed that.
I think I did. I mean, we got big names everywhere. Like,
if you're not excited for 314, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, you're not a fan of fighting because like there's going to be some good fights on this card. I'm excited. I'm ready. That's a weekend before WrestleMania.
Oh Lord.
Big week.
Do you have anything else for our fans, our friends, our fellow casuals?
I say get hyped for April, boys. It's time. We're going to have a big pre-show breaking down all the good fights. But for now, I think we're out.
We're out. Thank you for watching Couch Casuals. Like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and tell one friend about the show. Hey,
tell a buddy.
I know these guys. They're not Stephen A, but they're not scrubs.
Link it to somebody. You know what? If you've watched this far, can you just like maybe comment Fighting Nerds in the chat so we know, like, okay, someone got this far. Just say Fighting Nerds. You don't have to say anything else.
And that's really not even a shout out to us. It's a shout out to the Shoot the Box Brazilian team, Fighting Nerds, who deserve it.
They deserve it, dude. So give them some love. Give us some love. Like it, comment, subscribe it. And I think we're out.
We're out.
Bye.